you guys my experience, where I'm at and where I'm going. It was a normal Saturday afternoon, midday per se. That day, Tamir and Ty J wanted to go to the recreation kind of early that day. The recreation is Padilla Recreation Center. They offer free Wi-Fi, the gym for recreation play, and they also have an art room, which is open Monday through Friday. Unfortunately, it's not open on Saturdays. But that particular day, they wanted to use the Wi-Fi because I didn't have Wi-Fi at home at the time. So I usually let them go over to the recreation center to use the Wi-Fi. And that day it was some snow outside, but not much. So they was also playing in the park that day as well. So it was between the park and the recreation center, which is very close together.
No, that's right.
Tajay and Tamir came home about 2 o'clock that day for lunch. I told them to stick together. They had turkey sandwiches and apples and oranges and water, and I gave them money to go to the store to get chips and juice. So they was just as fine. I say about 3 o'clock, about 3:15. I get a knock at the door from 2 of the neighborhood kids. Could have been 2 kids playing at the rec. That the Cleveland police just shot my son twice. I was in very much denial. My 16-year-old son that was laying on the couch, I guess he heard it in the young man's voice that, this was not like a joke or anything. So he zoomed out the house past me without a coat on, just his shoes. And I'm like, no, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. My kids is at the park playing. So as I get dressed and walk towards the park, which is right across the street from my house, my son was laying on the ground. And I tried to go for him, and I was trying to charge at the police, trying to get to my son, and they told me to calm down or they would put me in the back of the police car. As I look at my son and I see my daughter, she's in the back of the police car handcuffed. And I look to the right of me, I see 8 police officers surrounding my 16-year-old. At that time, I asked the officer to let my daughter go because she was only 14 at the time. They gave me an ultimatum that day to either go with Tamir or to stay with the 14-year-old. So of course I went with Tamir, and I sat in the front of the ambulance like I was a passenger. I don't know who rode in the back with my son. That was the most horrific day of my life. Sending 2 children out to play that day and only one coming home. That's a pain no mother or father should have to endure. So I am in a struggle, a fight with the law enforcement, the government right now on accountability for Tamir's murder. The struggle has been quite so real for me. I would think that, or I was thinking that the prosecutor was actually on my side after being thrown into this situation again. I was just really thrown into this situation. I was kind of oblivious what was going on in America until it happened to my son. And I was just raising kids, trying to go to school and raising my children to be American citizens. But when I was thrown into this situation, I came out with a lot of rage and anger, and I decided to speak about social justice and just continue to continue to fight for justice for Tamir. We are still having some issues in America, more issues that I can never imagine with the police killing unarmed citizens, majority black. And also just killing Americans, period. You know, at this point, it really don't matter what race you are. But I just know that when it comes to black and minorities, just period, it's just too much killing. And I'm here to see if I can change some of the laws in America so we can be safe. I was treated very cruelly by the Cleveland Police Department. Tim McGinty, which is a prosecutor, just blankly lied to my face after saying that he was going to, you know, do all he can do, and if the officers wouldn't talk, he would arrest them. You know, just blankly just telling me lies to my face. How they harass, you know, my experts, and, you know, just talk crazy to my attorneys and things like that. It was just quite awful. And also having my daughter and my son be a part of the grand jury process. My daughter came out of there shaking as like we caused Tamir's death or something, like they were trying to blame it on us or something. But that process was very drainful. It was a struggle for my children and myself as well. You know, we had to do a lot of preparing for that. The city of Cleveland has failed me and many more. Let's talk about how I need my white privileged Americans to stand and unify with us. I believe that's the only way change will occur. Also, all of us standing together and unifying, that would set an example for the government to say, listen, look, we're not going to take this anymore, you know? You can't just keep killing unarmed Americans, period. You just can't do it. You cannot use deadly force as a first resort. They were 5 feet away from my son when my son was shot in the chest. And you're law enforcement, you're supposed to assess the situation and approach it with the, you know, right probable cause or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to analyze it, you know, to ride up on my son and scare him half to death. And then I don't have a son anymore. And it's just like, it's okay to just go on with your life in America. No, it's not. You can see clearly that Tamir was just playing in the park that day. You know, just playing. He wasn't bothering anybody. Wasn't nobody scared. It was a fully functioning recreation center that day. You have people getting on and off the rapid station, walking through the park with their groceries. You had a mailman there. You have kids actually running in and out the side of the wreck. So he could have never been a threat to anybody because everybody knows who I am over there. All they had to do was call me. All they had to do was call me.
He committed no crime.
So, it has been a struggle for my family. I have Tajay, which is 16 now. I have Tavon, which is 17, soon to be 18. And I have Tashiana, which is 21. It's a struggle to, you know, just be strong and process this whole thing. You know, I'm my children rock. And, you know, I have to remain standing no matter what. America has a lot to have a lot of work to do. Let me just say that. And I need to say that racism is a disease. You are not born with racism. You are taught racism. And the killing part about it, we're still looking for a cure for racism. Let's try to look for a cure for racism as we looking for cures for other diseases, because that is a disease. I'm here today to be honored on behalf of my son and acknowledge the Kent State students as well as the Jackson State students. It's just a shame. They're supposed to be able to exercise their First Amendment rights. I mean, at this point, I'm not understanding. What do we have the First Amendment rights for if we can't exercise them? And who is the law enforcement to kind of like knock that down, or let alone put their hands on you? You know, we're here to exercise our First Amendment rights. I think we should be able to do that. I am in my journey, in my process of transforming, definitely starting with the healing process and just giving back to my community, period. I'm establishing the Tamir Rice Foundation, which will implement a mentoring program and an art program, and also scholarships, 4 to 6 year scholarships for students to conquer their dreams. I believe in, thank you. I'm still structuring it though, but that's what my vision is, 4 to 6 year scholarships for, you know, students that's qualified and apply for it, that could fulfill your dreams, you know. You know, you guys are our future, and, you know, setting good examples, you know, for you guys will set good examples for y'all kids when y'all have kids. So we need a leader of great people to lead this nation. You know, at this point, black, white, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, whatever it is, you know, I'm all for it. My son had children of all nationalities that he played with. He went to a school that was very diverse, with Muslim children, Asian children, Arabic children, white and black children. And for them children to come up to me and say, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss," it crushed me. I mean, little kids, even the Tamir School was from K through 8. So you talking about the kindergartens all the way up to the 8th graders coming up to me saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss." That's so devastating. And I just embrace it. You know, I just embrace it. I really need for white America, my white privileged Americans, this does apply to you too.
Right.
I just seen an episode where the white boy attacked the police, but the police, he couldn't do nothing but, you know, shoot him. He attacked him. So that's an example of being privileged and thinking it don't apply to you. It do apply to you. I need you guys to stand with us.